Welcome to the channel, welcome to Banter in the Box, episode 25, game week 20 review. It's been another fantastic week in the Family Fantasy Football League. Things haven't been too bad off the pitch either. Over 14 million people vaccinated now. We're winning the war, guys, we're winning the war. So this week we've got the normal league table highlights, Wayne's World, Night in Shite, Satin, acceptance speech done, FFFL Cup second round review, and a manager of the season update. 5 managers went into the transfer market this week, including the top 2 in the league. Alexi went 200 points clear at the top last week, which was a new FFFL record, but he's not content with that. He's making transfers because he wants the winning margin to be even bigger. Here's the bottom of the table. Debut manager Ray Poulter spent a second consecutive week at the bottom of the table. Pez United were unchanged in 26th despite being the lowest scorers with just 8 points in game week 20. Napoli, who had a brief flirtation in the top half of the table, dropped 2 places, their lowest position since game week 14 as they fell to 18th in the league. And the biggest climbers this week, up 3 places, yours truly, Chairman's Choice. Didn't even have to make a transfer or play a tactical gambit in which to do it either. Game week 13 was the last time I was as high as 15th in the table, but there wasn't much change at the bottom. Top half of the table, dropping a place to 10th, Ted and Sam Juniors, the lowest position Ian Sands has been since June 2015, but it wasn't all bad this week for Ian, as we'll come on to later. Climbing 2 places to 8th, Nicky Saunders. That's the highest position Nicky has been in since game week 2. And Nicky registered a 4th weekly win of the season by virtue of an assist. She got 61 points, as did Arden Diamonds, and they both scored 4 goals in game week 20. But Arden Diamonds' team didn't manage any assists, and Legends 23 team got 1 assist, so they got the weekly win by virtue of that assist. Things are looking really, really good for Nicky. Up 1 place to 7th, Martin Maloney continues to have an outstanding season. Now here's a little ray of hope for those debut managers that are struggling this season. If, like Martin, you avoid relegation, you maybe can have as good a season as he has this season when you come back next season. Martin Maloney spent the entire season in his debut season last year in the relegation zone, but I don't think he's been out of the top half of the table this season, and 7th is the highest position he's been in since game week 6. He's not giving up, he's still in that fight for those prize money places. Down 2 places to 5th, Hatch United, the lowest position Hatch has been in since game week 9. But 3rd place, up 1 place to 3rd, Megan Hoxlade Chamberlain. This, I think, is Megan's 8th season from memory in the Family Fantasy Football League. Megan has never, ever, ever been as high as 3rd in the Family Fantasy Football League table. It's a dream to win some money in the Family Fantasy Football League. Well, as things stand, she's in that 3rd place prize money winning spot. Arden Diamonds remained 2nd for a 7th or 8th consecutive week, something like that. He's been there for a while, and obviously champions elect Alexi Lagos did see his lead cut by Steve Holmes by 12 points, but he's still 188 points clear at the top of the table. So there is your league table review. Now, Wayne's World, what you gonna do? Wayne sent me an email this week, fast becoming known as Mr. Grumpy. I had a few emails from Wayne this week. First of all, he complained about tactical gambits, didn't understand tactical gambits, didn't get tactical gambits, get rid of tactical gambits, bring back the old rules. Then last week, Wayne played a tactical gambit. He played a wild card tactical gambit which allowed him to make multiple transfers in a single week. So now he loves tactical gambits. Then he sent me an email. How comes I'm 25 points worse off than I should be? Well, it was because when Wayne played his tactical gambit last week, which allowed him to make multiple transfers in a single week, Wayne chose to make 5 transfers. And that meant this stage of the season, transfers cost 5 points each, so he lost 25 points. And I got this email from Wayne. You don't get dot points per player on other games I play. What relevance has that got to the Family Fantasy Football League? We don't adopt the rules of any other fantasy football league. That's what's great about the Family Fantasy Football League. The rules are unique to this competition because I write them. So I don't see the relevance of not getting dot points per player on other games you play. And it don't say it in your rules either. Well, I have made mistakes in the past. I am only human, so I check the rules. Rule 9F. Wild card costs £5 million. That means you can make multiple transfers in a single week. Note, it does not say anywhere in that rule that those transfers are free. But Rule 6D says any transfer made from the 1st of January 2021 will mean 5 points is deducted from your score. Note, any transfer made. Look up the definition of any in your dictionary, Wayne. So you made 5 transfers using the wildcard rule. That meant you lost 25 points. So it does say it quite clearly in the rules. A wildcard gives you the opportunity to switch the team around, no matter how many players get chosen, at a cost, which I assumed was the £5 million fee. That's a correct assumption, Wayne. You didn't need to assume either, because if you'd read the rules, it's written there. You've just described Rule 9F. Well done, son. What you haven't done is read Rule 6D, and that's where you've made your mistake. Is Stockley Park making these rules up? It's worse than VAR, this is. Now that is funny, and that gets you a manager of the season point for the quote of the week, Wayne. Well done. Night in Shite, Satin. Now, you'll have all seen the ruckus in, and I'm using the Mad Hatter's words because I like that word, the ruckus that the Mad Hatter has created in the Family Fantasy Football League over the last few weeks when he has, well, I'm not going to go over it again. Read the last half a dozen episodes, watch the last half a dozen episodes of Banter in the Box. But anyway, he's caused quite the ruckus and has made an enemy of I've Got a Life manager, Mops Hoxby. So much so that the Mad Hatter suggested to his good friend Alexi Lagos that when he attends the presentation awards at the end of the season, COVID permitting, he will come wearing a stab vest. Well, the existing Mops arch enemy, Benny United, heard about this, and he had a tip for the Mad Hatter. He said, the way you've got it rolled up this season, a stab vest isn't going to do it. This is what Mark suggested the Mad Hatter should wear at the end of season presentation awards to give him a good chance of leaving with his life. So there you go, the Mad Hatter. You've got your outfit all sorted out for the end of season presentation awards. Let's hope it's not a hot day, buddy. Acceptance speech done. Now, is this arrogance or just confidence? Alexi Lagos, Greece Lightning champions elect. We were having a conversation over Facebook this week, and I said to Alexi, who's obviously out in Australia as he has been for many years, I'm sure they're emigrating, but don't say it out loud in front of the wife. I said to him over Facebook, you know, obviously you're not going to come over, although I'd love them to. Megan and Alexi are not going to come over for the Family Fantasy Football League in June, COVID permitting. But given that you've clearly won the league already, could he film an acceptance speech and send it to me, and I'll play it at the end of season presentation awards? And Alexi said, that no problem, Jeff, I've already done it. I wrote my acceptance speech in game week 3. Game week 3. Is that arrogance or confidence? You decide. So last week was the FFFL Cup second round results. I did a little review last week and I predicted the results, And I didn't do too bad. I got 6 out of 8 correct. In the first tie between Wayne and Nicky Saunders, it was an easy win for Nicky. I thought it'd be closer than it was, but I did say Nicky would win 52-38. I think I said Nicky would win. Maybe I said Wayne would win. Maybe I got that one wrong. I can't remember. I got 5 or 6 right. The one I said would be a whitewash, Greased Lightning against Mops Hoxby. I said Alexi would win easily. Well, he did win, but it was 38-37. He was sweating on that a little bit. That would have been the shock of the round, the shock of the decade, and was probably one of the reasons why Alexi went into the transfer market this week, because he almost come unstuck. This is one I definitely got wrong. I said it'd be close, but I thought Thames Ironworks FC would beat Coldplay United. Well, not a bit of it. Martin Maloney having an outstanding season. 43 points to 23, crushed Darren Revell. This one was unsurprising. Steve Holmes smashing Lee Poulter 42-2. And then one I got wrong. I bet against the current FFFL holder Sarah Simons, but she beat Hatch United 25-22. Her bid to retain the Family Fantasy Football League Cup goes on. I called this one, sorry Steve, but I did say my boyfriend, sorry my boyfriend Steve, I did say that Ian Sands would beat you, and he did 25-19. And I also called this one, Megan Hoxlade Chamberlain absolutely smashed bottom of the table Ray Poulter as expected, 43-8. And I called this one as well, the Mad Hatter brushing aside Mark Benwell, 35-22. So they are the 8 quarter-finalists in the Family Fantasy Football League. Nicky Saunders plays Greased Lightning's Alexi Lagos. Coldplay United's Martin Maloney up against Arden Diamonds Steve Holmes. Current cup holders, Poppy's players, Sarah Simons is playing Ted and Sam Jr.'s Ian Sands, and the grudge match, third placed Megan Hoxlade Chamberlain manager Megan Hoxby against fourth placed the Creed Bratton Society's the Mad Hatter. That's your quarter-final lineup. Those ties take place in the first full Premier League fixture weekend in March. Good luck to all 8 of you involved. Now, who the fuck is that? That's the question that's been running for the last few weeks. It was worth 3 Manager of the Season points last week, and I've just remembered that I've forgotten to look at who had a guess. I think there was only 3 from memory. Bear with me a second. Hatch United manager Neil Hatch, who is currently leading the Manager of the Season table, he thought that that was a picture of Megan Hoxlade Chamberlain manager Megan Hoxby. That's an interesting guess, Neil. I think, sorry guys, I should have sorted this out before I come on. I think Benny United manager Mark Benwell had a guess. I'm just trying to find it. I'm sure he did. I'd hate to rob him of some points. Where is it? Maybe he didn't. Maybe he didn't have a guess. Anyway, Neil's guess was incorrect. And does anyone else have a guess? Because that's not a picture of Megan Hoxby. I'm sure Mark had a guess, but I can't find it. But I'm pretty sure. Well, I'm certain that Mark's guess was wrong, whoever he said. But we did have a correct guess. Anyway, Lyndon's Lovely's manager Joe Hoxby correctly guessed that was a picture of the Appley's United manager James Appley. So those 3 Manager of the Season points go to Joe. Well done, Joe. So what does that mean to the league table? Well, Hatch United manager Neil Hatch is still top of that Manager of the Season table, but he's joined by Lyndon's Lovely's manager Joe Hoxby. They are tied at the top, 14 points each. Benny United just 1 point below them on 13 points. Benny United is, Mark Benwell is the current manager of the season, having won it last season. And Wayne Robinson picking up a second manager of the season point for his quote of the week, so he's got joint 14th. Remember, the person named the manager of the season will get a free tactical gambit to use next season. You win points by answering the manager of the season question, one of those coming up shortly, or by sending me some banter on the FFFL Facebook, putting something funny on the FFFL Facebook group, putting a funny comment on the FFFL YouTube channel. Lots of different ways of earning manager of the season points, just getting involved basically in all the banter, and that will get you points, and you might be the manager of the season at the end of the season, which will give you a free tactical gambit to use next season. So on to this week's manager of the season question. Last week, as I said earlier, Greece Lightning became the first manager in FFFL history to lead the league table by 200 points. This week's manager of the season question is a 3-pointer. Which FFFL champion currently holds the record for the biggest ever winning margin at the end of the season, and in which year did they achieve that record? I'll read it again. Which FFFL champion currently holds the record for the biggest ever winning margin at the end of the season, and in which year did they achieve that record? So to get those 2 points, you need to give me the name of the manager who currently holds the record for the biggest ever winning margin and the year in which they achieved that record. You have to give me both of those answers correct to get the 2 points. You don't get 1 point for having it part of it right. You need to get both of those answers correct to get 2 points. And for a bonus point, how many points did they win the league by in that year? So 1 point for the manager who holds the record for the biggest ever winning margin at the end of the season. 1 point for the year in which they did it. You need to get both of those correct to get both points. If you give me the manager but you get the year wrong, no points. If you get the year wrong but you give me the manager, no points. You need to give me the manager and the year to get 2 points. And if you get those two right, then you'll get a bonus point if you can also tell me how many points they won the league by. So 3 points in total on offer. So that's it for this week. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you all have a good week, and I hope you'll be back to join me next week for episode 26, game week 21 review. But until then, stay safe. Bye bye.